Joining me now from Southern Florida, political consultant, lobbyist, strategist, and former Trump surrogate, Roger Stone. Roger, 100 years from now, let's look down the road. 100 years from now, we'll be long gone, but the history books will remain. It always worries me who writes the history books, but the bottom line is this, is that impeachment, there's no doubt about it. Impeachment was built into the swearing-in ceremony of the 45th President of the United States. That is on the record. We have that from certain elements of the Democrat Party. They started impeachment the minute he was sworn into office. This is a constitutional travesty. What they are doing here is attempting to do what Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and that conspiracy in 2016 could not achieve. They're trying to achieve it now in the halls of Congress.
Well, Graham, I can only address myself to exactly what's happening in the Congress today, and I'd like to bring it some historical perspective. It took 2 full years of a mainstream media onslaught and a constant drip, 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 drip of bad news that ultimately proved that while Richard Nixon didn't know about the Watergate break-in, he did participate in the cover-up, and we got, without any question, not only a transparent and fair process, but we had an absolute bipartisan consensus in the country that the president had violated the law, that it met the standards of high crimes and misdemeanors, and he resigned rather than be convicted. In the case of Bill Clinton, where I also had a front row seat, you did not have bipartisan consensus. Republicans in the House, I think unwisely, elected to try to impeach and remove President Clinton based on activities in the Oval Office with an intern. There was no bipartisan consensus. There were no Democrats on board. Not only did that fail, but it actually redounded to the Democrats' benefit, and they picked up seats in the next election. In this case, I think the voters view the current goings-on on Capitol Hill pertaining to Ukraine specifically as a totally partisan endeavor. You saw the breakdown of that vote. Nothing that we have seen so far regarding Ukraine has reached the level of high crimes and misdemeanors, and the American people still don't really know what exactly is going on, other than the president releasing the actual results of the phone call.
Okay, all right. Let me stop you there. Let me stop you there, Roger, because you're making an important point. History does matter, and you've lived through history. I've lived through history. 1974 and 1998, there was due process given to both of those presidents, Nixon and Clinton. Whether you agree with the process against Clinton and committing perjury, which is what he did, or not, there was due process given to the president. Nixon was given rights. Julie, our director, could you go to the first slide, please? Nixon was given rights, and so was Bill Clinton. I want to read from the Clinton resolution on the impeachment inquiry. Subpoenas and interrogatories so authorized may be issued over the signature of the chairman or the ranking minority member or any member designated by either of them. Roger, my point by reading this is very simple. Under this system, the White House was given a set of rights, a set of values, and the Republican Party gave the Democrat Party, in this case, a set of rights, a set of values, a roadmap. This is not what's happening here. What they've set up with these rules is a veto ability for both Jerry Nadler and Adam Schiff. They can veto any request from the Republicans to try and level the playing field and make this, I hate this word, fair. Maybe we'll use another word, equitable. This is not equitable at all.
Well, these were the speaker's proposals. I'm not going to speak to those other two gentlemen. But it is, I think, apparent that the president has an absolute right to replace an ambassador. In fact, traditionally, ambassadors, whether they are careerists or political appointees, are almost always replaced at the beginning of a presidential term. So the idea that the president was trying to replace his Ukrainian ambassador and that there's somehow something wrong with that defies all history whatsoever. I think American people see the current goings-on as a partisan struggle. Donald Trump is the great disruptor.
Yep.
He has come to Washington. He has upset the status quo. His record on the economy and on issues like criminal justice reform are issues the Democrats don't want to confront in the next election. I think it was Congressman Green from Texas who said, look, we've got to impeach him because we can't beat him in an election.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.